Hey, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Becoming. In this episode, I head out to Stevensons Falls. This is one of those most iconic waterfalls in Victoria. Simply said, it was one beautiful place to be. And I mean, this hike couldn't have come at a better time because I went to Stevensons Falls during autumn, and let me tell you, the town in Marysville, because Stevensons Falls is in Marysville. The town Marysville during autumn, it's a beautiful town because you know all the orange hues, the golden colors of the leaves falling from the trees themselves. I mean, it was just a colorful place to be during autumn. So yeah, Marysville is one of the most beautiful towns during autumn, 100%. Well, one of those I have experienced. Yeah, so I think for me, waterfalls have felt like home for forever. I have been to countless waterfalls back at home, and growing up, I grew up in a small town where we had one of the most iconic and beautiful waterfalls in Kenya, and that was the Stevenson Falls. Let me tell you something about how I grew up, because anything to do with any kind of celebration, any kind of achievement, anything, we used to celebrate it in Stevenson Falls. Um, oh, it's your birthday, Stevenson Falls. It's a graduation, Stevenson Falls. It's a wedding reception, Stevenson Falls. So I really grew up around a very beautiful waterfall, and that kind of it grew in me. That, I mean, waterfalls have been a very iconic, and they have a special place in my heart. So I have always, in fact, back in Kenya, I have explored so many waterfalls. Swimming in those ice cold waters of waterfalls. I mean, they've always been such iconic experiences. So anyway, heading out to Stevensons Falls, it was a 12-kilometer loop, and the hike was a really it was a really friendly hike. The elevation was quite steep at the beginning, but then going down to the waterfall, it was just beautiful. And now getting to the waterfall was, waterfalls have this sense of might. They're very, they have that sense of power and all that. Yet still, they really bring out that peaceful essence of nature around us. So I was really excited to experience that. Then, coming to the end of the hike, the rain wanted to show off, so it poured. But all in all, even the rain, it coupled up and made the experience much, much more exciting. So yeah, hey kids, welcome back to my channel. This is Stevensons Falls. Alright then, let's go. Alright, good morning, good morning. Welcome to today's adventure. Today I'm heading on to Stevens. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to today's hike. Today I'm heading to the Stevensons Falls via the Keppel lookout. So it's an 11 to 12-kilometer hike. So it's going to take me, say, 3-4 hours max. So currently it's 11:50 a.m. Say 12 p.m. So by 4 p.m. I should be done. I've been here before, but today I just needed something familiar. I think I needed something familiar and some good feels. I think it's the one true falls that I've been to, and I just felt like I needed something with a waterfall and not too bad. So 4 hours in and I'll be done. All right then, let's go. Let's see how it goes. Cheers. Follow me as I head to the Stevensons Falls hike. All right, cheers. All right, currently I am here, so I'm going to head up the trail all the way to the Keppel lookout, and then from the Keppel lookout I'm going to go all the way up to the Stevensons Falls. That's where the falls are going to be at. There's a parking lot there, and then I'm going to head back down all the way back to where I parked. Yep. All right then, so join me as I head on to Stevensons Falls via the Keppel lookout. Excited about this. Starting off with a good with a good elevation, but yeah, here for this. Let's see how this goes, man. Cheers. See you at the Stevensons Falls. All right then. It's 12:45 p.m. I am currently at 3 kilometers. I have 8 more kilometers left. Yeah, I love how today's hike is silent. It's just silence, the silence of the forest. Spotted a couple of birds chirping. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Right then, 8 kilometers to go. 8 kilometers left. Let's go. Let's do this. Cheers. Just went past the Keppel lookout. Yeah, it's one of those days. I think it's because it's a Tuesday morning. So we have kids, primary school kids. I think they're out on a school excursion or something. So yeah, heading on forward. 4 kilometers in. It's currently 12:59. It's currently 1 p.m. So 4 kilometers. I think I have 7 kilometers left. It's not too bad. It's actually good. It's been a minute since I went for hike. So it feels good being out here. It feels good being in the silence of nature out here. Something else about today is we're just approaching winter. So the weather is quite yeah, it's cold, it's chilly, but it's just how I like it. Yeah, I was just doing some reflection on the past month, and I just finished one of my favorite units. That's a unit called Positive Psychology. And in this unit, there's this particular video that we had to kind of listen through and analyze, discuss, and talk about it. And it's a video by David Frost. David Frost. It's a commencement speech. And one of the things he brings about is a story about these two fish swimming towards one direction, and an older fish moving towards their opposite direction. So once they meet up, The older fish says hi and asks, yeah, how is the water? And without thought, the two fish just said, yeah, it's all good, and they went past by. And then as they were swimming away, one of the fish asked the other fish, what is water? And that's the basis of the thought, the fact that that came up. And then I'll get back to that. And then the following story was a story of this guy who was stuck in a blizzard. He's an atheist who is stuck in a blizzard. So the story actually starts in a bar where these two guys are having a drink, and one of the guys is telling a story of how he is an atheist, but he's had encounters where he's called out on God. Like this one time when he was stuck in a blizzard, and yeah, that's a lay bird. Yeah, so he's stuck on this blizzard and he calls out on God to help him because he'd die in this blizzard. And like 10 minutes after the blizzard, 10 minutes after the prayer, some two guys come on and help him out and like pull him out of that situation. And then the other guy in the bar asks him, so now do you believe in God? And the guy says, why would I believe in God? I mean, it was just a coincidence that there were two guys passing by and they helped me. You know, and David Frost continues and says, sometimes we have to, the reason why we study, the reason why there is education is, the whole essence is to teach us how to think. Because sometimes you might be too much into your story, you might be too much into yourself that you miss out on everything that is life. Back to the story of the fish asking, what is water? David Frost continues and says, you have to keep reminding yourself every single day of your life that this is water. In situations where everything is working against your self-interest, you know, there's traffic and you'll get to work late. The last bus just left, your plane left. Everything that works against you, it exposes our self-interest. And the whole point of being learned, being educated, is thoughts, understanding that you need to learn how to control your thoughts in such times. You need to learn how to understand that probably you are not the center of this world, and so many other people actually have more reason to be angry that they're in traffic. The other people have more reason to be angry that the plane left and they had a layover. Probably somebody is heading on to have one last story before their wife dies, before their kid gets admitted to hospital. But your self-interest says how, you know, your self-interest puts you at a point where you're so angry just because you'll be 5 minutes late from work. It doesn't mean that work isn't important, but it is the thought that your interests are much bigger than others, You know, and that's how constantly we are in default. In default, we always have these self-interest thing inside us. I like how Robert Greene doesn't hide it. He says every one of us has a level of narcissism in them. Everyone has a level of narcissistic behavior. Not to sound like everyone is a narcissist, but everyone has a level of self-interest. And that's why everything happens in every story that we tell, we are the center of the story. We give an account of the story from our perspective because we are the center of that story. So the whole reason Robert Frost gives the analogy of the fish, the analogy of the guy who was stuck in a blizzard, is to show how sometimes we as human beings can be arrogant in our thought, can be arrogant in our beliefs to an extent. We miss out on everything that's around us just because we are so arrogant in our own beliefs. Like the atheist who prayed and even after prayer something happened, and yet he was able to explain with his knowledge. And you know, sometimes you can't tend to judge him because he is explaining from his perspective, his story, his life. But sometimes being educated means that you know more, you know better, you have a better understanding of how things work and how to think. And just know that there's so much more past our existence, there's so much more past self. And finally he continues and says, one of the biggest ways of having a good life is living a life of sacrifice, a life of constantly being there for others, constantly coming to contact with people's needs, being valuable to other people other than yourself interest, because that gives you purpose. It makes you understand the whole point of being a learned person. It puts you at a point of empathy where you end up thinking while in traffic. It kind of shifts your thought from how important a meeting is to you, you know, or how important a certain person is to you as compared to other people's perspective. So yeah, it's been a beautiful unit, and I think I've come to learn a lot. One of our research requirements was to do a research on yourself. Like that was the most unique thing, and it puts you at a point of reflection every single time. You end up catching yourself thinking, you end up catching yourself in a point where you're complaining rather than having gratitude, you know. Yeah, so that's part of what we did in positive psychology. I'm sure I'm going to share more. It was a beautiful month, that one. All right, I am currently, you can see, 4-point-something kilometers in. Have a little more above 6Ks left. It's a beautiful day. All right, let's go. Cheers. All right, I am 6 kilometers in, and man, I'm in this viewpoint where I can see the whole of Marysville town. I can see the towering fog just covering up the whole town, mountains and forests around me, and it's just beautiful. Don't know if you can see it, but yeah, I can. All right then, 6 kilometers in. It's drizzling. I can feel some droplets of rain. So yeah, let's go. Let's see what the next half has for me. Cheers. Let's go. All right, I'm 8 kilometers in, and currently that's the Keppel lookout where I'm from. But now I'll be heading to the top of the falls. Well, let's see what's on the top of the falls. Let's go. All right, exciting, eh? Let's go. And this is the top of the falls. Ah. Woo! Would you look at that? Yep, I'm on top of the falls. Quite exciting. So yeah, let's now head down and watch the falls from down there. Man. Right then, let's go. I'm getting closer and closer to the falls. I can hear the falls, the sound of the water. Ah, man. Can't wait. Let's go. Let's check it out. Right, just go to the falls. Man, beautiful. Man, this is beautiful. Whoa! Check that out. All right, man, this is absolutely beautiful. Like, man, this waterfall, beautiful. Yep. Well, unfortunately, we can't swim. You know, I would, yeah, because we have town water supply, no swimming. So the best we can do is just be here, have a look at it, soak it all in, and then head on. So yeah, let's go. Cheers. It's 2:30 p.m. Just went through the Stevensons Falls, and man, it was just absolutely amazing. It was just amazing. So yeah, so 2:30 p.m. heading to car park. I have 2 kilometers left, so probably in the next hour I should be packing up and leaving. All right then, let's go. It was absolutely amazing to see the waterfalls once again. Cheers, let's go. Goodbye. All right, 2:45 p.m., 1 kilometer left. Let's go. Beautiful. So this is a sign. I'm just coming from Stevensons Falls, which is to my right. I'm heading to Marysville, but before I get to Marysville, I'm going to get to where I parked. So yeah, let's go. It's been an amazing time. Beautiful forest bathing experience. Yep, it's currently drizzling. Otherwise, it's been a beautiful forest bathing experience. I think that was a spider web. That was exactly what I was looking for. Something short, familiar, sweet, just amazing. All right then, less than a kilometer left, and yeah, we head out to Marysville and back to Melbourne. Let's go. Cheers. Woo! All right, almost there, and it's absolutely pouring. But come on, man, I have to admit, it feels so good. The rain feels so good. All right, I have close to less than 20 minutes left to where I parked the car, and then head on to Melbourne. Let's go. Cheers. Woo! All right, it's 3:15 p.m. and we are done and dusted with the hike. Beautiful. So 3:15, started at 12 p.m., 3 hours and 15 minutes. Beautiful. Absolutely loved every single part about the hike. Loved the waterfalls. That was the highlight of today's hike. And the drive here, amazing, excellent. You know, and then just check out the colors, the autumn colors of Marysville. Absolutely beautiful. All right then, heading home. Let's go. But first, I'm just going to have a little walk over the town because it's just beautiful. Like the autumn colors of all the trees. Check this out.